Welcome to the English Language Institute of Singapore's podcast. I'm your host, Victoria Ong. We have invited 3 teachers, Crescendra Chong-Tan, Shanni Kaur, and Lydia to tell us about their experiences. In 2017, they conducted a classroom inquiry project supported by the Alice Research Fund. Their research report has been published on our website. Co-hosting this episode with me is Dr. Alison Tan, a senior specialist at Alice.
Hello, everyone. It's great to see you all here today. Could you tell our listeners a little more about yourselves?
Hello, Alison and Victoria. I'm Crescendra from Naval Base Secondary School. I've been an EL teacher since 2007, and in my previous posting at Nanyang Girls High School, I worked with Shanni and Lydia on the classroom inquiry project that we will be discussing with you today.
Hi, Shanni here from Nanyang Girls High School. I've been an EL teacher for 38 years in 5 schools. I was also the advanced literature teacher for the secondary 4 class in which our inquiry was conducted.
Hi, I'm Lydia, also from Nanyang Girls High School. I've been at Nanyang since 2001, teaching language arts and English. I really enjoy teaching reading comprehension, and I wanted to find out more about what goes on in our students' heads when they read the passage and how they approach the questions.
Thank you, ladies, for giving us your time today. Could you tell us more about the classroom inquiry project you all collaborated on?
Okay, our inquiry project was about reading. Specifically, it was an investigation of the reading strategies that were employed by high-ability learners when reading expository texts.
I see. What prompted you to undertake such a classroom inquiry?
Well, it began with a problem we all observed. We noticed our high-ability students were not performing as well as they should on comprehension tasks. We also noticed that they had some difficulty with inferential questions. We embarked on this classroom inquiry project to find out more about their reading comprehension skills and processes.
In particular, we were puzzled as to why this group of students, who were adept at reading a variety of literary texts and were proficient in the language, found it so difficult to comprehend expository texts. We were all puzzled by this. Shanni, who taught the students from the humanities program, also observed the same problem among her students. We wondered why they were experiencing comprehension difficulties and whether they were applying the reading skills they had been taught.
I see. So, what did you do next?
We designed an exploratory study to find out what those students were thinking when reading an expository text. We wondered, did the students employ any metacognitive strategies while trying to make sense of the text?
We can tell from your report that you engaged groups of students in a reading circle activity and recorded their discussion.
Yes, we conducted group discussions to ask students to reflect on their thought processes as they recounted what it was like to have to decipher a text without their teacher's help.
So, you had audio recordings which you had to transcribe before you could analyze the data. What was that experience like for you?
I was surprised at how tedious the process was actually. We had to go through the transcripts repeatedly to look for patterns and verify our observations. However, we learned a lot through the process.
Yes, I agree. We initially thought that our students lacked the reading skills mentioned in the research literature we referred to, specifically those mentioned in Baker and Brown's 2002 publication on metacognitive skills and reading. However, it seems that confidence might have been an issue. Our students were very concerned about getting an accurate answer for the comprehension questions and spent a lot of time clarifying their thoughts on how best to answer a question. What we noticed was they were more focused on answering the questions than on understanding the text. That was quite unexpected.
Oh, yes, indeed, that was unexpected. You remember how our analysis of the data revealed that the students spent a lot of time revisiting possible answers in order to come to a consensus. And instead of reading the text first, many students read the questions first and then tried to hunt down suitable answers in the text.
Sounds like the inquiry led you to identify issues that you had not anticipated. What else did you learn from this inquiry?
I think having a good understanding of the topic and methodology are important. Working well with team members such as Crescendra and Shanni is also crucial, as we were patient with one another, and that helped to make the process so much easier.
Yes, I certainly agree. It certainly takes effort, but it is rewarding.
What impact has the inquiry had on your practice?
I now put more emphasis on the students' understanding of the text before rushing to answer the questions, because often we always want to finish doing the comprehension and hand it in on time. I've also learned how to get the students to focus on the language used in the comprehension passages.
That's right. For me, it's about exercising patience, even when it comes to proficient readers. We tend to expect them to understand texts easily. However, adults like us also struggle when we encounter texts we do not understand. So this project has taught me to dig deeper in order to understand the challenges our students face. Until we do that as teachers, I don't think we would be able to help them effectively.
I learned to be more conscious of how I facilitate a group discussion around comprehension passages. I make sure that students do not just focus on getting the right answer for comprehension questions. Rather, I encourage them to read and explore the meaning and purpose of the whole passage and model the kinds of thinking and behavior I want them to adopt.
Last question. What advice would you give to teachers who are thinking of conducting a classroom inquiry?
Patience is a virtue.
Oh, yes. Do not expect ready solutions. Do expect that we need time to understand and unpack the situation. After all, that is the whole purpose of inquiry.
Yes, certainly. Give it a go. The learning you gain is worth the time and effort you will spend on it. Yes, certainly.
Great advice indeed for the fraternity.
Thank you for taking the time to share with us your insights on conducting classroom inquiry. This podcast is hosted by me, Victoria Ong, and Ellison Tan. A report of the classroom inquiry featured in this podcast can be found in this episode's show notes at go.gov.sg/ELIS podcast. Thank you for listening.